Hello everybody, this is Anna, also known as Anna-Nita on Ravelry and Annalena-Nita on Instagram. This is a knitting and crocheting podcast, and my last podcast upload was a week ago. I did another make-cation, let's say weekend, not a whole week, but a weekend. By the way, the furry head you see is Benny, my dog, the West Highland White Terrier. Always when I start talking, he thinks, whoa, what is going on? I want to be part of it. So yeah, maybe he will make an appearance again. And yeah, I'm a teacher, so I have summer holidays now and get much more done than during work time, and I'm out of my knitting slump. I think you can call it slump I was in. And it was a very long knitting gap I had. But the last 3 weeks were awesome, and I have quite a lot to show you, I would say. First, I think we should start with finished objects. None of these objects are real finished objects. Well, I have one. Okay, wait. Let's step back a bit. I have one finished object, but I have shipped it already to the USA and I have forgotten to take a photo. Sorry. And yeah, I just can show you what object I mean. I was knitting a pair of DK weight socks for an Instagram friend, I would call it, Kathleen, and I shipped them out. Sorry. But they are finished. I have not even for my project page I took a photo. I think you have to believe me. You have to trust me. But I have another finished object. It was finished last time already, but this time it has a pom-pom. So I come close and show you. This pom-pom is ordered from Amazon and it has a button. So you sew this metal thingading onto your head, and then you have a button here, and that makes it possible to swap your pom-pom if you want to have another color, or to wash your head without ruin your pom-pom. That is awesome. So there are several techniques you can do to remove the pom-pom before washing the head, but it has always something to do with, yeah, you know, sew it again onto the head, or tie several ribbons, and yeah, that is the easiest way, in my opinion, to do so, and I really like it. It is the It is the Standing Rock Hat by, I don't know, sorry, you will read it here. And I have used Gnome Acres Sparkle Gnome in the Hermione colorway, and so I divided, I made a cake, divided it into 50 gram and 50 gram, and held the yarn double. So I was creating a DK weight, because the pattern, it's a free pattern by the way, calls for DK weight yarn. And so I created DK weight, and I used up the complete skein. You see, it's a very very long head, and that's what I like, because I showed you last time and I will show it again. You can have a folded brim and have the double wand. That's Benny, he's hearing something. Or you can wear it ultra slouchy. But I have to say, with the pom-pom it might look a little bit silly to wear the hat as I normally do. I don't know. That's how I wear my hats normally. But so you have an autumn and a deep winter freeze head. Yeah, and that's very important for me. Chaka-boom! I don't know why I said that now. Okay, I will close the window. Now I want to show you the pom-pom set I have ordered on Amazon. It comes with 5 different pom-poms and 10, but they are 10 in this set, because you have of every color 2 pom-poms. And then you have this ding-a-ding, the button things to sew on and to connect with your pom-pom. yeah, there is only this one colorway which looks like the hair of a very famous man. I think I will trim it. The other ones are very neat and well shaped. You only have to, you know, fluff them a little bit. So I really like them, and I think I paid 15 euro or so, and normally you pay that for one pom pom. So 10 to 15 euro you pay for one pom pom, and I think that is too much in my opinion. Yeah, so these were the pom poms. Now we come to not really a finished object, but a partial finished object. It's my Cozy Memories Stitch in Time blanket. I have finished my green block, and I have added clippy markers and progress keepers on the squares I have done. You can see them, and I will show you closely now. Yeah, I won't say much about the yarns. I won't say anything about the yarns because I really don't know every brand and colorway name. It's just green. Well, and this isn't really green, but it had green in the skein, and so not in the skein and the ball, because I think it's Regia Opal, and yeah, I thought there would be more green. Yeah, it was so much fun to work on this. It was the main project I was working on my Make-cation weekend. I told you so I did go on with the Make-cation because it was so good for me, and it was so, yeah, very good for my well-being. Even the border, which is normally a very disturbing part of this project, was fun for me. Only doing simple garter stitch, simple picking up stitches during listening to audiobooks was so therapeutic, soothing, and a big joy. Yeah, it was the main project I was working on the weekend. I'm a slow knitter. It takes me very long to finish a square, so you can imagine, yeah, it took much time for me. Yeah, so I'm doing 5x5 squares in the way of the Cozy Memories blanket. The pattern I'm using is the Memories blanket by, I have forgotten the name, but you read it on the screen because there are several different patterns out there, but mine is a free one, I think, on Ravelry, and it's very easy. Yeah, and it's fun. I'm trying to do color blocks, and I have crocheted my blocks I showed you last time already together, and I have decided this is the perfect width of the blanket, and I will stay with this. I was thinking I should add another one, so 4x6 for example, but I will do 3x4. It will be enough because you see, if I stretch it like this, it's my arm span, so 140 centimeters. It's completely garter stitch, so after washing, without blocking so it will block by accident, let me say it this way. Yeah, it's fun. It's very, very much fun, and it's very nice to look at it. Yeah, I try to stay in the plan. I will try to keep the plan in doing color palettes or color themes, and that's the reason why I have sorted my minis already for the next block. But I want to try to divide them into two different again, because I want to do a yellow and an orange block, an own yellow block and an own orange block, and here's everything ready for it. My contrasting or my border yarn, everything is caked up because, yeah, it's so much easier to knit from a cake. I always use the center pole yarn, so the cake stays where it is. I don't need a yarn bowl, I don't need nothing, I don't need a sock around mine, nothing. It's just when you have a cake, you can pull from the middle, everything is safe. I'm using two 2.5 millimeter needles out of a DPN set, and I think it's 8 inches because it's 20 centimeters in metric system, and I'm struggling with the not metric system. It's so confusing. Yeah, but you can see this is always 20 centimeters mostly, you know. The neighbor's doorbell rang, and Benny is like yeah, so that will be my next project after I have finished one of the upcoming works in progress. My next work in progress is a very old whip. It's the Washed Out by Howie Locatelli, and I'm so desperately want them off my needles. Want this project off my needles. I was working on this today, only working exclusively knitting on this, and yesterday a lot. But I'm a slow knitter. I will show you how far I am. I'm already at the 3rd color and had cut the 2nd color for those who are familiar with this pattern. It is a crazy shaped shawl. It's not a triangular, not a crescent shaped. When I showed you last time, yeah, you see the right side. When I showed you last time, I was here in the first lace row, and I did, oh, it's difficult to see, right? Because of all the colors. Come closely. I did all of that, and I think the 3rd color blends in very, very, very well with the blue color. It's not meant to be a fade, so it's okay that the color 1 is very different. And about the yarns, the dark brown is a homespun house. It's all fingering weight yarn. I think it's called soft sock. I became confused with the yarn bases because they had different names when Molly started her business. But it's the sock yarn, the normal sock yarn, chocolate fondue. This blue one I have received from Nina from the This Is Old Knit podcast. I can highly recommend watching. Hop over to her. It's Madeline Tosh, and I think sock. And it's a special dyed colorway for a yarn shop, and it is called, I always want to say Blue Bonnet Highway, but it is not. But it is a landscape in Texas, and I said it last time. Oh yes, Blue Bonnet Highway, not Cornflower Meadow, but Blue Bonnet Highway, yes. And now I'm fading in a digital bath from Molly from my homespun house. Molly was my first indie dyer I have bought yarn from. I bought Dewdrop on her former sock yarn base she had. I think it was called the Dale base. And I still have this project. It is pilling, but I love it, and I love her yarns because I love her taste of colors, and the yarn is so soft. I have knit a pair of socks from her yarns already in her Halloween colorway, All Hallows Eve, but they are too precious for socks. Maybe it's a German thing. I can't use, it's hard for me to use all these pretty hand-dyed, very soft yarns for socks. They belong around the neck, you know, or on the head. This would be an awesome head. Yeah, I love her yarn so much. Okay, and here was the striping. I think it's awesome how this blends in. It's really awesome. In the beginning you weren't even able to tell that I have switched colors. And now I'm in the 3rd row of the lace pattern, of the last lace pattern, which is different because these are only eyelets. as you can see here, and maybe it's easier to see this with the brown yarn. Yeah, only eyelets. Very, very easy lace. And I can show you. This is the section I am at now. I am at, is that right? Yeah, I hope so. Also very easy. I don't knit from the chart because I never do, because it's confusing me so much. I think it has something to do with my, you know, with my ability to see, I feel like. Because my eyes, even with glasses, it's better with glasses, but looking into a far distance and then into the short distance, it's always like when the camera doesn't focus, it's this okay, now it's sharp, you know. And in this time I lose track which little square I was knitting before, you know what I mean? So I always use written if they are complicated and increasing or decreasing, like in a shawl. If the stitch amount stays the same, it's okay. But I prefer written instructions. It's the washed out. And this will be very, very, very huge. It will have a length after blocking of 3 meters. 3 meters! It's so huge. Yeah. I'm not so much into shawl knitting anymore because I have so many shawls and I don't use them at work so much because our school is very warm. But I also can't use these instead of my scarf. As my scarf, when I go outside in the winter, I use the starting point from How We Look at Teddy, because this is 300-gram yarn scarf. I don't know why why it's called a wrap, because it's a scarf. I don't know, maybe someone can explain what the difference is between wrap, stole and scarf. You know, a stole I can see lace weight yarn over a nice dress for going to the theater or something, or to a wedding or so, but is a wrap and a scarf, for me it's the same. Yeah. And these are too thin because this is not very warm, so you need more of this, and yeah, we will see. This might go well. And I need a matching hat for this again, and we will see how much I will have left from this, because I still have chocolate fondue left. Maybe I will do a hat out of both, or I have another blue or several blue yarns and I will do a hat trying to match this. Or I will buy another chocolate fondue, because this is such a pretty tonal brown and I love neutrals. I love them. For me that is a neutral, right? I mean like yeah, color how it could be from the sheep or the yak. Okay, my washed out. I'm so happy when this is done, because I hate long taking works in progress. It's I want to fresh up my needles. I feel like I want to finish up everything I have on the go for very long now, and this is the last long ago whip. Yeah, the last one. This has to get off the needles, and it will be so pretty because the colors go so well together. Yeah. Whoops. Yarn throwing. The next work in progress is a new cast on, because I have already planned out, I won't be crucial with this, but I have planned out my Christmas knitting, and this is a Christmas gift. It's a sock, a men's sized sock, 64 stitches, 2.5 millimeter, needles, higher sharps, because they are so fast, and light in weight. I think about buying another set, and I at the moment can't decide whether to buy Chow Goose or Higher Highers, because the Chow Goose have the better cord and the higher are lighter in weight. I prefer that over a better cord, I think. Okay, I really don't know what the brand is because I lost the tag. Here you see the cake. The contrasting heel is Lana Grossa Meilenweit, a leftover cashmere. So it has 5% cashmere, 5% nylon, and 90% some wool. I don't know which. It doesn't tell. And this is awesome. This is as soft as Felici yarns. And they come in several different colors, but not self-striping, only unicolors. And this was a leftover from my starting point and the sheep pullover I did in the last year. And I ordered more because there will be another sheep pullover. But this time not for a newborn, but for 18 months. So also Christmas gift knitting. Yeah, I'm doing my standard sock recipe, how you call this on YouTube, recipe. 2x2 ribbing. Pretty much always because I like it. And purling doesn't bother me and ribbing neither. So yeah, because many people don't like knitting ribbing. Yeah, the heel is a normal short row heel and I'm using wraps and turns. I did German short rows when I learned knitting socks, but it was painful for me doing them. Now I did them in, which project did I have forgotten. Which was the last project I did short rows? Oh, the Hume, my mohair pullover. And I realized, whoa, that isn't difficult at all. So maybe I will try German short rows again, because you don't have to pick up the wrap in German short rows. You simply only knit the stitch you have created in the row before. But this is a wrap and turn heel. I don't care for slip, slip, knit or knit two together. I do knit two togethers on both sides. So you have here a ridge and here it's the ridge goes inside, so to say, but I really don't care. I'm not that picky with these kind of things and it doesn't hurt on the foot. Yeah. The sock has a very long repeat, so it was fun to knit. And after the washed out is done, I think I will pick up this sock again. Or maybe now the washed out isn't mindless anymore. I use this for TV and audiobook knitting. We will see. It's always good to have a mindless project on the go. You never know where you have to wait. Or if you just want to sit and knit during TV watching, for example. And I have this in my fondant favor Ravenclaw bag because I'm a Ravenclaw. And the dog is sleeping on the project I laid on the floor now. He prefers to sleep on my knitting. I think he doesn't know that he is a dog. He acts like a cat. Today he wiped away or kicked away with his mouth. It's not the mouth. How is the mouth of a dog called in English? I don't know. I was kicking away the yarn balls I have on the floor. The next and the last work in progress is a new cast on, but this new cast on is just, I was so excited that after finishing my green block I was allowed, or I allowed myself to cast this project on just to see how it looks, you know. I did a gauge or a swatch to see which needles and which yarn I want to use, and I was so excited that I said, okay Anna, cast on, knit a few rows and then put it away again and knit on your old whips and on your Christmas presents. I will talk about Christmas presents after that. And I love this project already. And I ordered new needles for this project. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready to party? Sorry. Yeah. I'm doing the Bits and Bobs blanket by Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. I was watching the Bakery Bears several years ago, and I didn't get into the flow with them. I realized this with several podcasters that it wasn't the time for them now in my life. It's the same with Woolen Vine, who was Yarngasm before. I started to watch her and I'm honest now, I was so jealous. And I couldn't relate to her because she was knitting so, and she still is, knitting so complicated, for me, in my opinion, complicated patterns. So it wasn't something which could influence my projects, so that I say, oh, that is pretty, I want to knit this too. No, I only was thinking, oh, this is pretty, but I can't knit this. But now I can watch her and I can knit the things she knits, but I don't always do that. I pretty much never do that after watching podcasts. It's very, very rare. But this I saw when I was watching the Bakery Bears, and I think I saw this, was it on the Ina Knits podcast? I think she showed it up. It is the Bits and Bobs, as I said, blanket. You can't see nothing at all. With this blanket, you hold 2 strands of yarn together, a background color, and your minis, your scraps, or your chosen color. And so you should use 2 fingering weight yarns, but I'm using a DK weight, so it's Regia 6-ply, because first I had this in my stash, and second it will create more softness and a thicker blanket. And my hand-dyed yarn. You see there, I never can do this. Wait, this is easier. There. You can see all my hand-dyed yarns I still have left. Yeah. And I will do not a fade, but kind of a fade. And I will knit, let's say, 5 centimeters, and then switch to the next color, and then switch to the next, and then switch to the next. You can't see much because I have only knit, I think, 2 or 3 rows, but it will look like brioche. It doesn't do now. It doesn't look like anything now. The thing is that this color has much white in it, so you don't see the effect of the background color. I will insert a photo so that you can see what this creates. I bought the pattern. It's an interesting stitch, not difficult, and it's not brioche, but it will look like brioche, and it is as cozy as brioche. So yeah, because brioche blanket, brioche means knitting 1 row twice, and that with a blanket, never. And this stitch marker shows me, or this progress keeper, no, this is the right way. It's Ravenclaw from my set from Fondant Fibers. Yeah, needless to say, a book. Shows me where row 1 starts with when I see this on my right side. Not like here, but here. Then I know now row 1 is starting, because it's only a repeat of 2 rows. And you do at the beginning of the row several stitches differently than in the other row. And so I know, okay, this is row 1, now I have to do this. I can show you the other colors now more in detail. I'm knitting this on Knit Pro Symphonies. This is my set, and I like the black color. It's awesome. I really like wooden, and the ball is dropping down. I really like wooden needles. But if I know that I have to do knit to togethers often, I always use higher, because these are not so sharp. They are, for wooden needles, very sharp, but I don't like knit to togethers with fingering weight yarn with them. Okay, I will show you the first batch now. It's not in the right order. This. It's all on normal sock yarn. I would compare it to opal. Opal. A little softer than opal, I would say. This is awesome. Sorry, it's my yarn and I say it's awesome, but I think so, that it is awesome. You can see it here better. Do you see the pattern? Isn't that awesome? The next batch. I don't even know if batch is the right word for that. This is Golden Stellina. This is lavender. I know that I called this colorway lavender. You don't see this, I think. This is a little bit lighter. This is Mother of Pearl. And this is Cafe Latte or Cappuccino, I have forgotten. I started a project with this, but then I dropped it because I didn't like the process. Oh, this way. Yeah. The pattern calls for 4,000 meters. So 2,000 in color, 2,000 in background color. This is more, I will just knit it up, I guess. We will see how long my blanket will be. Yeah, so it's, I don't know, the Anna Knitter Bits and Bobs blanket or the Anna Knitter blanket, because this is my hand-dyed yarn and it was so much fun to dye this. Maybe some of you can remember that I sold yarn 2 years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago, but then there was the problem that shipping was so expensive from Austria to the US. And the second thing was, next to my work and thesis writing, dyeing yarn. Yeah, maybe I will do this one day again. So I will dye again, definitely, for me and friends and so on. If I do this for business in the future, I'm not sure. But it is so much fun and I love all the colorways. These are colors I would buy. So yeah, I like this very much. I have forgotten to show you another work in progress. I tried to catch up with my temperature blanket. And this is here. And I am in the last 2 weeks of July now. And it wasn't so much fun to knit, to crochet June and August, because as you can see, this is June and somewhere here starts July. To knit June and July, because it's always the same color. And this color is the first color, this is 27 degrees and more. This is the first color I needed the second ball. That is, you don't have to say anything more about our summer. It was crazy, especially the June was crazy. If you hear something like coughing, it's my dog. That's the way he is barking. He really, it's not often the case that he is barking like barking. He's always doing when he's hearing something outside. So I will keep it folded like this. Oh, that was my pattern. This is my temperature blanket. Here you see the ends. After I'm done with July, I will weave in the ends. Yeah, because these were like the ends from June. There weren't many because I was knitting, crocheting all the time the same color. So no ends. January until July. It's very pretty and very long already. And this I'm crocheting out of Stylecraft Special DK. Yes, it is 100% acrylic, and I'm not ashamed. I am not, because I'm not a yarn snob anymore. I work with everything. It has to feel good. It has to be soft. It has to be nice, you know, pretty, not itchy or squeaky. Some acrylics are squeaky. And for a blanket, acrylic is a good choice. It's very warm and you can throw it in the washing machine and it won't grow too much, because with my super washed granny square blanket it grew so much and it became so airy that it's not a deep winter blanket anymore. So that is a problem with superwash. But yeah, we will see. It's so pretty. Pretty. As you might know already, I love making blankets and I love having blankets much more. I have 3 completed blankets already and I'm working on 1, 2, 3, 4, if you count the bits and bobs, 4 blankets. Because I really use them every day and I enjoy them very much, and there is nothing like a handmade blanket, especially if it's made with wool. It's something very special about it. Now I have to check my notes, sorry. Yes, I want to remind you that we have a knit-along going, the SOS Socks of a Stash knit-along. Yeah, the rule is easy. Knit socks from your stash, so everything before 2019. Enter it, enter your cheddar, your whips, your finished objects, everything in one thread in our Ravelry group and Anita podcast, and it's a fun place to be. It's very inspiring. You find many different patterns, yarns, and it's just fun. And you don't have to knit a certain amount of socks in that year. It's only knitting as many as you want, as you can. Everyone has her or his personal goal, so that's very casual. And I've started another thread. I started the Christmas gift knitting thread. That's not really, maybe we can make it into a make along with winning prizes and so on, depending how many people are interested in that. But because I have started knitting Christmas gifts already, one is finished, one is on the go, and I have planned out every present, I thought it could be interesting for you too. So enter all your project ideas. I have refreshed my queue on Ravelry, and it is, besides the Hume, only filled with Christmas gift knitting. Is it crocheting also? No, only knitting. And I was thinking about talking about my ideas of the Christmas gift knitting. I have everything in this box. So I will do some socks. I will do the sheep pullover again, but in another size for another baby. I will do 2 cowls. Maybe I can insert some photos here talking about it. Is there more? 2 cowls, several socks, and a pullover. Oh, and Norman the doorman. I have to insert Norman the doorman because he is so stinking cute. This I will gift paired with a voucher for going for a breakfast or going to the movies or escape room or something, because I will do this Christmas again what I did last year. I don't wanna celebrate Christmas because of the presents or the gifts, as you Americans say. No, I never really celebrated Christmas because of the presents, but because of the birthday of Jesus Christ. But they were, although they were very much in the center, you know, buying, making, receiving was very important, everything, and stressful. And yesterday, yeah, it feels like yesterday. Last year I asked my boyfriend if he is fine if we set a line price-wise. I think we decided up to 40 euro or so, not more, to gift us a little tiny bit, to put a smile of the other's face, but then celebrate Christmas, what it is about and what it is for, and enjoying the time. For me, the winter holidays, the Christmas holidays, are always very precious because of the time I can share, especially with my boyfriend and my dog. and with some people I really love and I want to see, and to enjoy and embrace the moments, you know, sitting in front of the TV and watching a nice Christmas movie, for example, eating Christmas cookies, making Christmas cookies, preparing Christmas dinner, and these things. And I want to enjoy this with every cell in my body, and I can't do that if the presents are so much in the focus. And he was totally fine with this, Benny, and it was fun, and I really appreciated my presents, and he did appreciate his, and it was fun. And I gifted many self-made presents or voucher for time. You know, for example, a self-made voucher for going for breakfast in a specific bistro or something. Or, for example, a movie night or a visit in the museum or something. Gift time, because time is the most precious thing we have, and it's limited. Our time is limited. And all the time we say, oh no, I have no time. Someone's calling, do you want to meet up? No, I have no time. Really, this means I don't take the time, because every one of us has 24 hours in the day. Even if you work, I don't know, 60 hours per week, you can easily calculate how much there is left. And we fill our time with so much waste, like Facebook, Instagram. It's nice to have this and to use this, but it's also time wasting. Maybe, yeah, it's something to think about. I'm always here and there doing a detox, totally go on Lent for these things. Yeah, and spending time, because if you break down your life, what is the most important thing for you? When do you have the best time in your life? Which moments are these? It's not scrolling down the Instagram feed, I would guess. Maybe you enjoy it so much and you say, no, Anna, that's what I enjoy the most. It's not for me. It's also not going shopping. I hate shopping. Doesn't matter if it's for me or for other people. I hate shopping. I hate it. Or what do we spend our time with? It's so much stupid things. Watching too much Netflix and Amazon Prime, for example. I can touch my nose. We say in German, I'm touching my own nose. That means I'm not talking only to you, but to me. So that's the reason why we went over to gift vouchers for time. You also spend money, because if you invite someone to have breakfast, you pay their breakfast, needless to say. But it's so much more precious. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't going to ramble, but this is a thing I'm thinking about already. Who I will gift what voucher or what handmade item. And yeah, I think I have to do 9 different handmade items. But in most cases, it's not the only thing I give them. Yeah. But it's a very precious thing. I need a long time for a sock. Normally I need a month or 2 weeks. So in the normal working day, and when I knit on my other projects, I need a month for a sock. So a pair of socks. Yeah, so it's more precious than buying an expensive gift, in my opinion. But so I'm already rambling, I'm sorry. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and I'm looking forward to read from you. Please like, subscribe and comment, and visit our Ravelry group, Anna Knitter Podcast, because the podcast is about be in contact with you. It shouldn't be only me talking to the camera. It's, conversation. That's what it is about. I'm greeting you. I hope you enjoy your time. Take the time for the things you love and you enjoy and which are meaningful to you. We will see each other maybe not next week, but the week after next week, because I have to attend a seminar in Germany. So we will see. But until then, bye bye.